The Purple Realtor, Mike Sherrard, joins me on this episode. And I tell you what, for someone in only the second year in real estate, this guy blew me away and is going to blow you away too. For someone completely dominating in a market that's struggling, as a veritable rookie, strap in. You're about to be thoroughly educated. You want the normal real estate training you've been told a million times? Make cold calls, knock on doors. Best be switching off now, because in this podcast, we go out of the box using unknown tactics, primarily, that the real estate industry's never heard of, in order to get you called in more often, convert those listings, and get more success without the painful cold calling. Listen up, we're in for a ride. This is Real Estate Renegades. We are on Facebook Live. We're recording this for the Real Estate Renegades podcast. And I tell you, there ain't too many more renegade-y than my guest that's above me or beside me, wherever it is where you're looking. The Purple Realtor, Mike Sherrard. Sherrard or Sherrard? How do you pronounce it?
Sherrard.
Sherrard,
Yeah.
Cool, man. Mate, it's an honor to see you. I've only seen you by reputation. We've been swapping messages. We've never met face-to-face. We must change that. Because, man, your marketing chops are off the hook, man. So thanks for catching up, bud.
Much appreciated, man. I've been admiring your stuff for a long, long time now, ever since you started getting rolling from GSD and things like that. So it's an absolute honor to be on this with you.
So you saw me on the thing with Josh Smith, yeah? Is that where you first found me? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, long ago. And Real Estate Uncensored and the whole 9 yards. So you've been around the block, man.
Man, there's some good dudes over there. I've never really marketed in the States at all, but a few early adopters like yourself, like Greg McDaniel, like Josh. And the first guy, though, from the States that found me is a realtor from Fort Worth, Texas, called Dave Pennell. And he flew all the way down to Australia to spend a couple of days with me, learn a few of these things, took it back to Fort Worth, owns his marketplace, just had his first $1 million year.
Wow.
Mate, you know, and so I can't wait till I start marketing over there and actually try, because it's been a fun ride, man. And how about Josh, man? What energy that guy's got, man. Imagine putting us two in a room together.
I cannot imagine, man. You guys are on fire.
He's a good dude. I love that guy. Since that podcast, man, because Josh is actually he used to be a bigger lad, as I did. And I've lost 30 kilos since that podcast. So, man,
I've seen it. I've seen it in your photos, and you're looking damn good, my friend. So I applaud that.
But I'm not ready for compliments yet, man, because it was self-loathing and stuff that got me down. So I need you to say, yeah, Glenn, you're doing all right, but come on, man, could you try a little bit? That's what I need.
Man, we'll see it. I know 6 months, a year from now, we'll see the abs and all.
Nice, man. But today I want to talk about you, bud. What you've been doing on social. Well, for those people who don't know you, and they may not, like in your first 6 months, you were voted top 10 realtors in your local area on social media, but literally in less than 2 years in the industry, you've been voted on real estate as one of the most influential realtors in the world, really only behind, you know, my mates, Josh Altman, you know, the Luis Ortiz, some of these guys that we've had down here in Australia, the stars $1 million listing, then you. Oh, maybe BC. Where's BC rank? Is he up there as well?
I'm not sure, but I know Brian's up in there, man. He has to be.
Yeah, no, he's an animal. So I'm loving that, mate, what you've done. But, mate, now, if that's the highlight reel, give us the story. Give us the snapshots of the story to date that has led to such, you know, accolades so early in your career.
Definitely, man. It's been a powerful and it's been a struggle too. So I was previously an engineer. I did 2 degrees in 3 years at university. And then when I got into engineering, I realized the corporate world was just not for me for so many different reasons. And I got into real estate. And basically what I did is I followed things like BC and took to door knocking. And that is what really blew me up, both door knocking and social media. The crazy thing is I actually didn't have an Instagram page before getting my license. So I learned everything from scratch. I never took a selfie before. I never took photos. And I realized, being 24 at the time, not from this city and being an engineer, I had no sphere. So I had to find the two best ways to get in front of the most people possible every single day, which is social and prospecting. So I went all in on all of them. From the prospecting side, in 2017, I got 50% of my listings from door knocking. Some of those included the most expensive listing in the history of my city at $15 million. They heard about my grind, about door knocking and things like that. And then the other 50% came from Instagram and Facebook, direct messages, but not direct messages from me, direct messages from other people to me, admiring the hustle and saying they want someone that's going to work to sell their house, just like I'm showing my daily life. Because in Calgary, we're actually in a down market where only 40% of listed homes are selling and 60% are expiring or terminating. So you needed to be someone that was going to go above and beyond. And I was willing to do whatever it took to be that guy. And here we are today. So 4 months in, I got the $15 million listing. I spoke on stage in front of 300 people with someone featured on $1 Million Listing. And then I got some of these accolades, GSD, Path to Mastery, things like that. And I've just been trying to make an impact ever since. So that's my goal, man, is just to make a positive impact and build this community of hustlers in this industry.
Oh, dude, man, I'm stoked by that, because we're seeing down here in Australia, some states like West Australia is a big state. It's like as big as Texas geographically. And there's like a couple of 100,000 people live there. So that gives you an idea. Like, we're very spread out. We've got as many people in Australia as LA, and yet geographically we're as big as the States. So we're very, very sparsely populated. But one of our biggest states with just a lower population is called West Australia. It's giant. And it's gone through a little, look, over there, if you ask them, they'll say it's the worst market in history. Yeah. It's gone through a little correction. It's gone through a bit tight, and stuff, but certainly nothing like what you're describing. And half the agents are leaving the industry and it's just blood on the streets. And we're seeing the same sort of thing in the rest of the country, a little flattening of a very buoyant market up until this point. And there's a lot of people, fearing people coming into the industry and trying to cut out costs by generating leads and then clipping the ticket for a third of the commission. Discount agents working for virtually no money and cost-cutting agents. Hybrid agents that are letting consumers sell it themselves. And all these threats. And we're seeing the attitudes of at least half the industry, if not more, resulting in agents whining on social media and all of this pain. Like, it's an industry under duress. And when we hear about markets like yours, we aren't under duress. It's like, I feel when I hear that, I feel like our industry is like the rich person who is sitting there sipping a latte and there's a fly in their wine. We got nothing to whinge about, man. So you're a walking testament to the fact that, mate, that's inspiration. I'm so glad to hear it. Let's take a look at some of your pieces. I would love to talk some more about so guys, stick around on this. I'm going to hit Mike up for some of his prospecting dialogues, maybe even some of his mindset tactics that gets him to go animal and beast mode. But you guys know I'm a marketing, fan. So when I see this sort of thing on social, very attention getting, when I see, and let me just bring up your Dropbox that you and I are sharing. There we go. Let's start with the Lambo, man. The purple, hot purple Lambo. Let's start with some of your social media. As I flick through these, what do some of these marketing pieces bring to mind as, like the results? Let's start with the Lambo. Is that too ostentatious? What do people think when they see a young dude 25 in that beast?
Do you know what's incredible, Glenn? And I absolutely thank the world and all my followers on social media for this, is since the day I started in real estate on Instagram, I have had my purple BMW, but I've been telling the world that by spring of 2020, I am going to, at the age of 27, buy a Lamborghini, and it's going to be purple. And the incredible thing is, in my past life, everyone would have seen it as that ostentatious move, seeing that it's egotistical, saying that, why would you want to do that? You're just trying to show off. But ever since getting on social and talking about why I'm trying to do it and what it means to me more than just the materialistic aspect, I've had agents from Brazil, from Australia, from the States tag me in every purple Lamborghini post saying, Mike, I cannot wait until spring of 2020 to see you get this. So the world, man, is actually so supportive. I couldn't believe it, but it means the world to me that I'm working towards this thing that many people would potentially look at as a negative thing, but I've got so much support, man. It's absolutely fantastic.
Kind of like Gary Vee and the Jets. We're all rooting for Gary Vee to buy the Jets.
Damn straight.
Have you heard the bugger lately? He said, you know what? He doesn't even want to buy the Jets anymore. He just wants the process of buying the Jets. If that doesn't result in him buying the Jets, I'm going to be pissed, because when we brought him down to Australia, we got some Jets football signed from him just in advance. So he better buy the buggers.
100%, man. Yeah. And, you know, the grind is one of the biggest things, seeing these people that I've never met saying, you know, I'm supporting you from all over the world. And then even this photo, man, the owner of this Lamborghini lives about 3 hours away from me. And I've never even met him. We were communicating on direct message on Instagram. He handed the keys to me for a day saying, you look trustworthy from your post. Go record, have fun with it. I know one day you will get your own.
Wow, man, that is killer. So this is the Beamer, the one that we're seeing on the Facebook page here. Yeah.
Yeah. So the one on the Facebook page was my previous one. I just got this new one 2 months ago. So we're doing some crazy content that I'll be updating on my Facebook page next week.
I love the attempt. Well, you've seen what I do with hot pink, and I love the fact that you've chosen a color that is impact making, getting you global recognition, and yeah, man, just killer. So you're a car guy though, and that's the thing. The magic, like Brian Casella, our guy we mentioned, BC, Brian, he's a car guy as well, and hence, as soon as he started having success, he went and got himself the Lambo. So you're a car, because the car thing, and many of my guys know that's not me, you know, But for you, this isn't just to get attention. This is part of you, isn't it?
It's a full extension of me. Ever since I was a kid, I used to draw and I used to be an artist, and I would draw the Lamborghini Countach, the Diablo. I was aspiring for these every single day. But in my small town, there wasn't anything nicer than your base Porsche. I've never seen these cars. I've never touched them. I've never felt them. So now that I took the liberty to move to a big city where I can see this stuff, I taped it, I can drive it. The motivation is insane. And this is the biggest way that I can motivate my goals. And the color has a whole different story to it. But I said, why not blend the two, that the color is impactful, the cars are true and authentic to me. So that way I don't have to try and build a personal brand just to build one. It's an extension of myself, and it's truly me. And then as you saw with the $2 million Ferrari in the past picture, I use cars in my luxury videos, that one, to stand out again. But now when people see a video, a luxury real estate video with a Ferrari or Lamborghini or McLaren, they know whose it is, and it gets that extra bit of attention and helps build that personal brand.
Wow, I love it, man. And look, this is the stuff, you know, I am a disruptive marketer. I'm an attention getter. I was even given some feedback this morning by someone on my list of 40,000 people who has paid me that I'm a bit annoying. And I say, dude, you got to be. So I'm loving the fact that you're a fellow attention getter, my man. Probably a little less annoying than me, and that, you know, I just smash it out there. Tell us about Keith here. Why'd you send
this? Oh, damn, man. Yeah, so one of the biggest reasons, and I posted about why I do Instagram, why I take to Instagram, and it's because I want to motivate others to be the best version of themselves and achieve their goals, but I want to inspire and help remove some of the concern and I guess reasons why people aren't achieving those goals. And for me, I'm a door knocker, right? And one of the biggest things is everyone's scared of getting the door slammed, or they're scared of people yelling at them, swearing at them, all this kind of stuff. So I make posts like this. The other night I went out and door knocked for 3 hours, and I met this old man, and man, dude is amazing. You know, it's a local deli. He's a veteran, fought all over the world. And what I realized after that door knocking session is there wasn't a single door that I knocked that wasn't smiling after I left their door. There wasn't no door shut. There wasn't any language. It was people excited to see me because of the approach. So I want people to know this is real, man. You can go out, you can cold call, you can door knock. but you can get some good feedback, and you can be perceived in a way that you would never expect if you approach it that way. So if I can inspire people to have faith in humanity and remove some of that anxiety to go do these things, that's all I can ever ask for, because it's just a matter of, as our friend Gary Vee says, it all comes down to execution.
Yep. Yeah, I have that quote up every time, because one of my mentors early in the piece, Michael, said, the power of an idea is in its implementation. And of course, that's exactly right. But then when Gary Vee said the same thing, but with different words, that ideas are shit, execution is the game, it's like, man, agreed 1,000,000%, bud. Very
100%.
Cool. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So and so is this one of the ones, now, did you get this listing by door knocking? Tell me about this.
Yeah, so this is interesting. This was a listing that I got after, so I went to a year ago, I went to the unveiling of a luxury scarf thing, and I met this girl, and I kind of had small talk, but I was actually watching Gary Vee's videos and saying, make an impact on every single person you meet. So I said, you know what, honestly, I didn't want to talk to this lady. I was about to leave, but I said, you know what, let's just make a lasting impact so that I can leave and say, you know what, at least I gave it my all. So I did. And a year later, I got a call from her saying, Mike, my dad's thinking of selling. Would you be interested in taking a look at the house? And usually when you get that call, it's 500,000, 600,000. Like, how much? $4.2 million. And one of the best things, Glenn, is I was going up. He interviewed two people, myself and the top luxury agent in my city for the last 5 years.
Wow.
And I went up back to back against this guy. So my biggest, or my highest engagement Instagram story ever was me before I went into this listing presentation. And I recorded a video saying, listen, guys, I'm going up against this top dog. I've got no track record. I've got nothing against his brokerage. I've got nothing against him. I've never done anything like this. All I can do is give it my best shot. Let's see what happens. I'll let you guys know. And a week later, I beat out that top realtor and I got the listing. And then that's where we brought in the Ferrari, made a huge production about it, and away we went from there. But it was all, again, capitalizing on every single person you come across as a potential opportunity. Maybe not now, but with patience and persistence, it will come to fruition at some point.
Dude, it's like I coached you, man. This is the first time we've ever spoken. I mean, I know we've swapped some messages and things, but dude,
yeah,
you're singing from our hymn book, in that I call it the future bank, that when you meet people today, almost always, if you're cold prospecting, they're not sitting there waiting for a real estate agent to go, you know what, I've been waiting for you. That's good. Come on in, list my house. It's going to be in your bank account in years to come. And I love
Glenn,
it. Yeah.
I heard a quote the other day when I was talking to someone about door knocking, and it resonated with me. I think you'll like it. Is they said door knocking is like dating. You don't go on the first date and ask to either sleep with them, get married, or have kids. You go and you try and make a good first impression. And that's what people don't get with door knocking or prospecting, is you're not trying to go there and get the listing like that, because usually it's not going to happen. If it does, that's a once in a blue moon. Thank God for that. But you go there with the persistence and the patience mentality that, you know what, maybe you're down the road, but I want to be that guy when the time comes.
Dude, I use that word seduce very particularly there. Yeah. That's one of our big rocks, is that we got to meet them and we got to seduce them. The fact that you use that metaphor, my guys will be sitting there going, you schooled him up, didn't you, Twiddle? Yeah, you schooled him up, because I'm always talking about that. And the example I use is, my partner, Naomi, who you may have seen in some of my stuff. I mean, that's my partner in business and in life. And I mean, the fact is, the term punching above your weight is the name of my book. And, kind of, that didn't happen at a one night stand, like that ain't going to be, hey, baby, guess what? Yeah. And so I love that you use that metaphor, man. I love that you're using that to list the most amazing stuff when literally, I love the fact that you were up against the best, you beat the best, and that underdog mentality, mate. Some people sort of put me in a category that I'm doing pretty good and stuff. I still feel like the rookie who has no right to be here. That's why I'm up at 3 a.m. That's why I'm working till 11 p.m. or whatever the hell I'm doing. It's because I feel like I have to, because I don't deserve to be here. So it's pretty cool, man. Well done, bud. Shit. This was the last one you sent me to kind of talk about. What was this one special about, this video here that you've got?
Yeah, so that was really interesting. So this was a really neat opportunity, Glenn. So I got a listing from a referral, and the owner of this house was previously listed for 160 days with another realtor. It was a $600,000 house. He built a $1.2 million house, thought his house would sell quick because of the promises of this realtor. He ended up having to balance these 2 huge mortgages for 4 months because it wasn't adding up. He wasn't able to get it sold. So I had someone reach out and say, you know what, you have to meet Mike. You just have to meet him. So I met with this seller, and long story short, he terminated with his other realtor. I sold his house in 10 days. And here was the cool thing, Glenn, is he wanted to accept $570,000. And I was like, I got off the call and I worked some magic, because negotiating is my strong point in this business. And I got 575. So this guy's he's like us. He's got a lot of energy. So what I did is I reached out to my girlfriend, because I was at her house here, and I said, Anna, just record this and let's see what happens. And I called him on speakerphone, and I told him, I was like, listen, Leo, it's not going to happen. We're not going to get the value you want. They're not willing to budge. And anyway, I flipped the script on him, told him I got more than he was expecting. And he was just ecstatic, and he went ballistic. And it was a truly heartwarming video. And then for his possession, I like to do lavish possession day gifts. I had the founder of a vodka company and a brewery come over and cater his entire housewarming for all his friends and family. And that was the impression that I made on him. So that was an impactful video, man.
Nice, man. And I love the catering thing. I remember Josh Altman was telling me about, that's one of his strategies that he swears by, in that they cater, let me just stop the share for a sec. They cater for 12, they get a celebrity chef to come in, they make all the bells and whistles. And of course, who's going to come to a 12-person dinner from a celebrity chef of a $2 million property? Other people, friends of people who own $2 million property. Man, smart.
Yeah, man.
How are you only in your freaking second year in the game, man? That is crazy.
We've got big dreams, my friends. So we're trying to surround ourselves with your crew and make an impact, because I've started getting calls off podcasts like this. I got a call the other day, and there's a blog coming out about it soon. And it was a guy that called me, and he said, listen, Mike, I just watched your recent podcast. I'm a father of one, single father as well. My mother's living with me. Me, my kid, my mother are in a basement of a house that's dingy and dark and scummy. And he said, you know what? I didn't close a single deal for 5 months. I started watching your Instagram stories and what you preach. It motivated me, but taught me. And he started closing 2 deals a month. And he said, not only did it change his life, but it changed his family's life. And when I got that call, I'm like, wow, man, like I made an impact, not just on a person, but a family that was struggling. That's when I realized I need to do more than just the agency side. I need to make an impact. I need to spread the love, the education, the mindset, and I need to make that impact on as many as I possibly can.
Wow, man. I mean, that's what far out, man. Just promise me when you're 40, right? When you're 40 and you're the next Tom Ferry with 8,000 people at your conferences, or by then you would have surpassed real estate, should you choose to. You'll be at Tony Robbins level. So just promise me when that's happening, you throw Glenn Twiddle a bone. I'll be 60 by then or whatever, and you say this poor bloke, he was pretty there. Have a go at him, and you throw me a bone.
Exactly, hey man. We'll be going. We'll do Instagram live videos in our Lamborghini together. So we'll do something, man. That's one of the biggest things. Is I'm such a family guy, and the ones that support me mean so much that no matter where I go in life, there's nothing that takes me away from appreciating those that have supported me. Because if you see my post, man, I've gone through the bullying, I've gone through the teasing, the hard times. I've gone through so much. I had so many years where it felt like no one was there, but you realize there's certain people that are never going to go away. And that's people like yourself, the family, the girls, the girlfriend. Like it's, you know, those are the people that are there, and my appreciation for that will never dwindle.
Killer, man. Well, let's reward the people who've stuck around for a little while. Before we get on to, and I want to talk to you about how you've grown such a successful Facebook channel, because my guys are very all in on Facebook right now, because I've been yelling it since 2011 and 2018. We're listening now. It's good. Yeah. So we'll get to that. But let me ask you about two things. The attitude that it takes to be a door knocking beast and what you're saying at doors, because there's just a bunch of my guys. There's a bunch of real estate agents, not even my guys, because my guys, I'm teaching them, okay, short term, you might have to prospect to get a few momentum rolling, get some now listings so that you get some now money. But we're teaching them to build a marketing system so that over the years you don't have to prospect anymore and business comes to you en masse. So for those people in their first 6 months where literally their phone's not ringing, why would it? Because they've just started. Yep. Let's talk about how to get yourself to do it, what you know to do, and then what you're doing, maybe on a day-to-day basis. How do you get the mind to do it, and what words do you get the mouth to say?
Definitely, man. So the mindset's the biggest thing. I just made a YouTube video I'll be putting out next week on the keys to succeeding in door knocking this year. And the mindset is twofold. There's two things that I feel like people get wrong. And I posted a video not too long ago about someone on my team that had the wrong mindset and tried it and failed miserably. And here's what it is, Glenn, is you need to switch your perspective from soliciting to providing value. So what happened with this guy on my team is he went up to the first store and he said that he felt like he was soliciting. So what was he perceived as? He was perceived as a solicitor that was trying to sell that person. But with me and my techniques and my script, I frame it around providing as much value as possible, and that it would be a disservice to them if they decided to sell and not work with me because of the quality of the average agent. So for me, with my mindset, I go in and say, you know what? I'm providing value to the local community with my script, but also if these people sell, they're going to have the best experience with me. So why wouldn't they want to hear what I have to say? Otherwise, they might expire, they might not sell, they might terminate. So by knowing that you're actually doing something in their favor, it changes it completely. And the next thing I say is just have faith in humanity. At the end of the day, you need to treat people how you want to be treated. So if you show up at a door and you've got the sad face and it's frowned up and you look like you're dreading it and you're just pushing it, people are going to feel that way. They're going to catch that vibe, you know? So if you go there and you look like you're having fun, it's sunny outside, you're getting a tan on, you're not behind a screen, you're enjoying yourself, have a smile, man, and just enjoy it. Enjoy the grind. Like Gary Vee says, man, there's nothing that makes me feel better than after I door knock for 3 hours, because you know you just outworked every other agent in your city. So when you go there and you say, you know what, have fun with it and treat people that way, they're going to treat you the exact same way, man. And I leave with a smile every single time I knock on a door. I don't care who it is or what they're doing.
Wow, man, that's killer. There's the talk a lot of adding value. And when a lot of people, they throw that around like a catchphrase almost. And you know, now again, I don't know the various markets over there, so I'm really interested in this perspective. But every single real estate agent in Australia thinks this is value. And it may be for you guys, this may be adding value. So there may be cultural differences. But en masse, every real estate agent will offer what we call a free appraisal. Now, over here, there is no such thing as a paid appraisal.
I know.
So there is no value because everyone offers it. And so the free appraisal that I suppose in some ways could be interpreted as offering something, but because they all offer it, it's now gone from being a jab, to use the jab, 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 right hook.
Yeah, I got that.
It's gone from being a give to being the ask. If
Yeah.
someone says yes to the free appraisal, it is a pitch, it is a solicitation. So in what way, now how does that resonate? First off, is the free appraisal the go-to thing for over there? And if so, has it become almost annoying to the point where it's lost its impact? And if so, what's the impact?
Big time, my friend. So it's on every old dinosaur's bus bench. It's on everyone that doesn't know how to market. That's their marketing.
Right.
It's on all their
same.
terrible Facebook ads. And it's absurd because people know they're not idiots. They know that no one's ever going to pay for that. Like the general public is smarter now. Maybe back in the 80s, maybe that was a thing where they didn't have the tools to research online, but they know, they very well know that in today's world, that's free. So that's done and gone. I've never used that. I'm never going to try to use that. I always do try and provide value. So let's say on a Facebook ad, if I was to run something, it wouldn't be a free home evaluation. It would be the ultimate free home seller's guide. So they'll get a PDF of 8 to 12 pages that shows them exactly how we sell it for the lowest days on market at the highest price. So they're getting something. It's actual value. They're not trying to solicit them into scoping out these opportunities when they know it's fake, right? So for me, when I door knock though, because that's a different world, I knock on the door and I leverage something. Usually it's a sale, a high price. So a home that's sold down the street for a high price quickly. So what I'll do is I'll knock on the door and I'll say, hi, my name's Mike Sherrard with Redline Real Estate. How are you today? They'll say, good, how are you? They don't want to see you, whatever it might be. And the first thing I say every single time is, don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to buy or sell a house, but because the home down the street sold for X price in 6 days, I've had a few of our neighbors, ours the keyword, so they don't feel like they're the only ones. No one wants to be the first to act. I've had a few of our neighbors reaching out to see I've had a few of our neighbors reach out to see what the value of their home might be or what the value of the homes in the neighborhood might be. So that way, usually it opens up that dialogue where it's like, okay, how much would my home be worth? Or if they're not, you don't push for that. You say, well, how is the neighborhood doing? And that's okay because, again, that's going back to the seducing, because if they just care about how the general neighborhood's doing, you didn't just lose their house. I set them up on the monthly market report, so every month they see something, and maybe 6 months down the road. But again, I try and provide value in the sense that I'm there in person, providing them stats of what just happened in their community, putting a face to the name, and saying, what can I help you with? Do you care about your house? Do you care about the neighborhood? Do you care about a different neighborhood? What can I do to be your guy? I've even helped people with roofs that need fixed or plumbing or whatever. They say, you know what? I don't need you, but I've got this problem. And because of my network, I find them a solution to anything that I possibly can. So they know that I'm that guy. I'm that catalyst to success for them when the time comes.
Beautiful, mate. I tell you, I was just sitting there thinking as you're saying that, my guys will think you're a setup. They'll think you're a plant, you're not paid an actor. Because as you're saying that, let me just go to our, I'll just open up another page. Because I don't know how close, because we change the wording depending on the client, but I've got a private mentoring group. Now, so one of the boys put up a thing in the oh no, it wasn't in this group, sorry. No, it was in another group I got. Wait, hold up. See, this is the professionalism my guys come to love.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Operation Marketing Overhaul. So you're peeking behind the scenes here, gang, but I just wanted to show you this. There you go. So the ultimate seller to-do list. So this whole kind of package becomes that sort of thing that you just worded, and I think you even used the wording, something like the ultimate seller's home improvement guide or whatever the case may be, and I'm sitting there thinking, dude, he's like got the right, like who trained you in this stuff? Because I've done thousands of hours of training to think like this. I'm not a natural. Are you a natural, or did you do some training from some similar mentors to myself other than Gary?
Yeah, it's crazy, Glenn. So I actually never had a formal mentor. I've never paid anyone. I've never had any of that. So the biggest thing for me when I got started is just personal research. So I watched BC's videos, but tailored it in a way that's a better fit for my personality. Yeah. And my market, I guess, per se, because Canadians are different than Americans. So I tailored it that way. And Kevin Ward was a big one on YouTube too. He's got a very good approach where I find sometimes in different worlds like Ferry, it might be a bit salesy, but Kevin's got a very warm and welcoming approach to scripts. So by blending things like BC and Kevin, I was able to massage it in a way that was a good reflection of me. And just from, again, putting the boots to the ground and hustling, I found out what worked, what didn't. And here we are today. So now I'm with you, man.
Love it, man. Well, man, I tell you, I love that you've reached out. If I become one of your first mentors that you take on in a formal capacity, dude, I'm just going to sit here and cry with appreciation, dude. But so I'm loving that. So we got the mindset stuff, we got the attitude. What would you say to my guys, just kind of in closing up, because we're gonna get you on your way, man. I appreciate that, but we'll still stick around, have a little bit of a yarn after we stop recording. But what would be your parting advice to our crew who are seeing the start, perhaps? What if our market continued down this way to be at Calgary kind of levels, whereas you're saying half the properties don't get to sale, they get to either withdrawn or changing agents or whatever the case may be, where a market is tight, agents are feeling it. What would be kind of your advice to them about things like Facebook, that I'm all in, screaming it from the rooftops from them? I'm saying that what used to be a optional thing that they could follow if they wanted, but maybe it was, now I'm just screaming. I'm saying, get on board with this, either with me or with any coach, or just get out, just go, come work for me, because you're going to be gone. But that's just my opinion. But what would be your take if we're about to hit a market that's starting to be painful and potentially is going to get as painful as yours? Let's smack them between the eyes or whatever, or love them to death, whatever you would do to say to that person that is facing an impending battle.
Let's do it, man. So one of the first things, let's hit it right on the face, is the online marketing. You need to master that. There's nothing, and as Gary Vee preaches, it's never going to be cheaper and more effective than it is right now. So you need to master that. You need to find out what works. We even just proved to you that the standard free home evaluation is dead and gone. So you need to find creative ways that actually provide value, that actually convert, and aren't so salesy, to stay ahead of the game. Because if they see 50 agents and they're all putting out free home evaluations, you're one of 50. They're the same as them. But if you find a way to leverage what you do and what you preach and things like that, you're one of one. You're putting out content that resonates with them. It impacts. It's like crushing it. Read that damn book, man. So like at the end of the day, you need to master the content that is relevant right now, which is social media marketing. You know?
I'll tell you, they literally, I promise you, they're going to say you're a plant. See that book there? One of my favorites. It's by a guy called Joe Calloway, Becoming a Category of One. And what you just said then, if you're the same as all them, you've got a 1 in 50 chance of getting chosen. But if they've got the choice of old school or new school, of outrageous or traditional, and you go down traditional where you're 1 of 50, you got a 1 of 50 chance. Whereas if it's 1 in 2 chance that they're going to go old school or new school, and you're the only one new school, you got a 1 in 2 chance, because you've become a category of one. Oh my God.
That's one of the big things, man. The last 2 things would be focus on building a personal brand. It doesn't have to be necessarily as loud as you and I, but build something that resonates with people, that can get people, when they see your social profiles, that they feel like they can know and trust you. Don't be posting 600 pictures of interior design. They want to know you, man. So build that personal brand that revolves around community and collaboration, so that they know you're a local agent, but you're giving back, you're focusing on the community, and that they can resonate with that. And the last thing, man, is get ready to freaking work. Because when the market goes down, the ones that we have a term here, thrive, not survive. There's so many people that are just in our industry just trying to survive. If you want to thrive, get ready to put the boots on, pick up the phone, do all the shit that no one else wants to do. That will be your saving grace, but it'll make you absolutely crush it. So when things do come back to life, you're at the top of your game and others are struggling to survive.
And I tell you, there'll be some people, literally, I know our audience down there. We've gone Facebook Live, so this will have a couple of thousand views. And actually, with the quality of what we've just done, I'll throw hundreds of dollars at this, and you'll be seen by most real estate agents in Australia. And I tell you, there'll be some of them that are going to be pissed. They're saying, how dare a person in their second year yell at me and tell me what to do? Well, guess what how dare is? I might have interviewed you, but why didn't I interview you? Why did I interview Mike? And I'm not talking to you, man. I'm talking to the person who's having a whinge that what's this kid got to tell me? 25 years old, second year in the game, but killing it. Why am I interviewing him then and not you? I'll give you a reason. Everything that he just said. That's why. So, but then you're going to have some other people at the other end of that spectrum, dude, who are going to be sitting there, and you may have just changed their world right here and now, man. So I just give you on all of their behalf our appreciation, man, for this bit of time with you, bud. And I can't wait to do what we're going to talk about now, and that's getting you down here, doing what we can do to get you to come down under. You mentioned that you saw Brian come and Matt and Greg for the $1 million thing we did earlier in the year. So, man, can't wait till we absolutely get you down here as well, man. So my eternal thanks, bud. That was awesome.
Appreciate it, man. I can't thank you enough. And to all your audience, again, the support means the world. And it's exciting to see who's going to take this and run with it and actually execute.
Definitely, man. All right. So, guys, until next time, we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Wow. Well, there you go. I hope you liked the episode. If you liked that, then what you need to do is you need to subscribe. You need to get more of this craziness because we got more are coming. I'm never standing still, and we've got so many more guests. We've got so many more strategies, more out-of-the-box thinking. So if you haven't subscribed, literally, you're like throwing away thousands of dollars. Because I tell you, if you haven't subscribed, you don't come back. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find you, I'm going to market to you, and I'm going to charge you for the very stuff that on this podcast we give away for free. So whack that subscribe button on whatever your favorite podcast weapon of destruction is, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.